Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Weekly Buzz with me, Mrs. Busby. This time we're going to be discussing the reasons for the seasons, specifically Earth seasons. There are two reasons for the Earth seasons. The first is that the Earth revolves. Now, if you remember from our last Weekly Buzz, revolution means that you go around a center object. The Earth revolves counterclockwise. But that doesn't just cause the seasons. The Earth also has a tilted axis. This means that the axis does not go straight up and down, but at an angle. That angle is 23.5 degrees. This means that the axis points at the star Polaris, also called the North Star. These are the two reasons that the Earth has seasons. What this means. Let's take a look at this in real time. Lights off, please. If this is the sun and this is the Earth is always tilted on its axis. So it's going to go around the sun. Now, when the Earth's axis is pointing away from the sun, one hemisphere will experience summer and the other will experience winter. In this case, the southern hemisphere, or the South Pole, is pointing towards the sun. This means the South Pole will get more light. Over here, now the North Pole is pointing towards the sun. That means the northern hemisphere is going to receive more light. Lights on. So again, summer, you're going to have more direct sunlight. This means that you're going to have longer days, and it's going to be hotter. In the winter, you're going to have shorter days, because you're going to have more indirect sunlight, and it's going to be colder. But you say, Miss Busby, there are more than two seasons. Fall and spring occur when the Earth is perpendicular to the sun, meaning that the axis does not point at the sun or away from the sun, but is in the same level. This is why fall and spring have the same amount of sunlight, and they also have the same amount of temperature changes. When we look at the Earth, we have drawn some imaginary lines. The first one we always think of is the equator. The equator, of course, is in the center of the Earth. But there are two other important lines that we need to know. The first one lies right here, and it is the Tropic of Cancer. It's 20 degrees north of the equator. The second lies 20 degrees south of the equator, right here, and is the Tropic of Capricorn. The reason we need to realize this is because of the tilt of the Earth, depending on what month, each one of these lines will receive more sunlight. In December, the axis, the North Pole, is pointing away from the sun, and the South Pole is pointing towards the sun. The Tropic of Cancer receives the most direct sunlight. In July, the North Pole is pointing towards the sun and the South Pole is turning away from the sun. The Tropic of Cancer receives the most direct sunlight. And in March and October, the Earth is neither pointing towards nor away. The equator receives the most direct sunlight. This means that each hemisphere has a different season. The North Hemisphere will be in summer, the South Hemisphere will be in winter. This has been another edition of the Weekly Buzz with Mrs. Busby. Thanks for watching.